10 Mysterious Russian Deaths. On February 27, 2015, politician and former Deputy Prime Minister Boris Nemtsov was assassinated within a stone's throw from the Kremlin walls. At 11:31 in the evening, Nemtsov and his partner, Anna Duretskaya, were walking along the Bolshoi-Moskvoretsky Bridge in central Moscow when Nemtsov was shot 4 times from behind, dying instantly. On October 7, 2006, Anna Politkovskaya was shot dead in the elevator of her apartment block. She was shot in the heart, shoulder, and head. An investigative journalist for the liberal newspaper Novaya Gazeta, Politkovskaya had been involved in reporting on human rights abuses in Chechnya. You may succeed in silencing one man, but the howl of protest from around the world will reverberate, Mr. Putin, in your ears for the rest of your life. These were the last words of former KGB officer Alexander Litvinenko, who died in London in 2006 after being poisoned with the radioactive substance polonium. On October 19, 2021, the body of a Russian diplomat was found outside the Russian embassy in Berlin. The 35-year-old man had apparently fallen out of a window on the upper floor of the embassy. The Russian embassy referred to the death as a tragic accident but made no further comments. The deceased was reported to be the son of General Alexei Zalo, the deputy director of the FSB's second directorate and head of the FSB's Directorate for Protection of Constitutional Order, which is concerned with terrorism cases. In late 2021, another mysterious death was reported in Russia, with the deceased again falling from a window. This time, the victim fell from his apartment window in central Moscow. The deceased was named as 35-year-old journalist Yegor Prosvernin. Prosvernin was a controversial right-wing journalist who founded the blog Sputnik and Pogrom. The website was blocked by the Russian government in 2017 for promoting ideas of ethnic and religious hatred. Mysteriously, Prosvernin's body was found naked under the windows of a residential building. Moments before his death, Prosvernin allegedly threw a knife and gas can, some report pepper spray canister, from the window. In 2009, Russian tax advisor Sergei Magnitsky, just 37, died in a Russian prison under suspicious circumstances. Magnitsky was a lawyer and tax auditor at Firestone Duncan, a Moscow law firm, and worked with Hermitage Capital, an asset management firm led by American Bill Browder. Browder was banned from Russia in 2005 as a national security threat. This ban came after his company accused state corporations of large-scale corruption. In 2008, the offices of Hermitage Capital were raided and documents seized. These documents were used to transfer ownership of several holding companies and then successfully apply for a tax rebate of $230 million. At the time, Magnitsky had been defending Hermitage Capital. In November 2008, Magnitsky was himself arrested on allegations of complicity in tax evasion. He died while in detention after repeated pleas for medical help. Vladimir Maragov, otherwise known as Russia's Sausage King due to his ownership of multiple sausage factories, was brutally killed at his country estate outside of Moscow in late 2020. On the morning of the attack, Maragov was sitting in his outside sauna with his partner Sabina Gazaeva. Suddenly, 2 masked intruders broke into the estate, tying the couple up and demanding money. Gazaeva managed to escape. However, Maragov's body was later found by police next to the crossbow used in the attack. The man accused of the murder, Alexander Mvridi, was subsequently detained. Yet, in August 2021, Mvridi, along with several other detainees, managed to escape detention. Former deputy director of the Russian airline Aeroflot and acquaintance of the aforementioned Boris Berezovsky, see number 8. Nikolai Glushkov is another controversial figure to die under mysterious circumstances. After being accused of fraud, Glushkov fled Russia and was granted political asylum in the UK, where he lived until his death. A Kremlin critic, Glushkov was due to attend commercial court in London on March 12, 2018, to defend himself against fraud claims. However, He never showed up. His daughter found his body at his home later that day. A coroner found that, despite attempts to make his death look like a suicide, Glushkov was, in fact, strangled in his own home by a third party. A pathology report found that the injuries were consistent with a neck hold, applied from behind, and the assailant being behind the victim. Despite contacting over 2,000 witnesses, the murder remains unsolved. Former deputy director of the Russian airline Aeroflot and acquaintance of the aforementioned Boris Berezovsky, see number 8, Nikolai Glushkov is another controversial figure to die under mysterious circumstances. After being accused of fraud, Glushkov fled Russia and was granted political asylum in the UK, where he lived until his death. A Kremlin critic, Glushkov was due to attend commercial court in London on March 12, 2018, to defend himself against fraud claims. However, he never showed up. His daughter found his body at his home later that day. A coroner found that, despite attempts to make his death look like a suicide, Glushkov was, in fact, strangled in his own home by a third party. A pathology report found that the injuries were consistent with a neck hold, applied from behind, and the assailant being behind the victim. Despite contacting over 2,000 witnesses, the murder remains unsolved. Last but not least is Natalia Estemirova. An award-winning human rights campaigner and friend of Anna Politkovskaya, Estemirova was born in the Russian province of Saratov. A graduate of Grozny University in Chechnya, she went on to report on human rights abuses, especially during the Second Chechen War in 1999. She later joined the human rights organization Memorial and wrote articles for liberal newspaper Novaya Gazeta. On July 15, 2009, Estemirova was abducted on her way to work in Grozny, Chechnya. Her body was later found in a wooded area in neighboring Ingushetia with bullet wounds in her head and chest. While it did not find sufficient evidence of state involvement, the European Court of Human Rights concluded that the Russian authorities had failed to conduct a full and thorough investigation into the murder. No one was ever convicted of her murder.